He's not, but I don't get that people don't think there aren't big reveals here, including Checkmate and Salvation. Again, Jimmy Guns. Deep cuts. Deep cuts are good, deep cuts are fun, but not a lot of people are going to know the deep cuts. When it comes to Checkmate, I think we all suspected that was going to be the case. There was going to be a hint at it, but of course you full on showed it, which was great, but it was already suspected. Salvation, on the other hand, DCU news recap. Not too much DCU news. Yeah, not too much. We got, basically a quote from Nicholas Hoult, and then of course we have Jimmy Guns, of course, in the sock meds, replying to people, kind of backing up the things that. Oh, Jimmy. But this is part of the reason why I was going, yeah, maybe, Film Junkie Lives, the fact that Wednesday is just stacked and everything. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just kind of like not do a Film Junkie Live. I did a members only stream. Which was always fun. If you want to join the membership program when it comes to my channel, support the channel, please do. It's a lot of fun. It was like more, it was more intimate. I know that sounded creepy and I probably drove you to not do it. But anyways, here we go. Nicholas Hoult says he hasn't read the script for James Gunn's Man of Tomorrow, but the two have recently discussed the sequel. I just spoke to him a week or two ago about the sequel. I haven't read it yet, but hopefully will soon, so I can't say anything more than that. Now we got Jimmy Guns on the sock meds, the social medias, basically just responding to people, because he knew it was going to happen. I even called it. I went, oh man, he's going to start doing this stuff. And first off, he's talking about Rick Flag Sr. Rick doesn't hate metahumans. He's afraid of the power some metahumans have dictating world politics, as started by Superman and the Justice Gang, especially Hawkgirl, and mostly afraid of how difficult it is to contain metahuman criminals. Happerson hates all metahumans and maybe Otis and Lex, but Flag just wants a way to protect Americans and goes about it in a callous fashion. And obviously he hates Peacemaker for killing his son. Remember when I was going, hey, I think Blue Beetle's actually going to be showing up in the finale? I mean, you did kind of tease it there, Jimmy Guns. Why did you lie about Blue Beetle being there? We miss Jaime Reyes. I never said Blue Beetle was going to be there. I said people might be in luck who want to see Blue Beetle again. You gotta learn there, Jimmy Guns, because sometimes when you say certain things, people take it a certain way. You realize you're talking to a vast fandom. You gotta be careful nowadays. And again, I think this is where he's learning. But he did. Okay, technically, he did say. But I mean, again, you kind of went, Have you seen some of the criticism of the show in the final episode? Definitely. Not everyone can love everything. I love the episode, but I understand not everyone does, which is completely fair. Good response right there. Good job, Jimmy Guns. Totally perfect response right there. But I think what he needs to realize is something. I think he got a little too. He tripped over his shoes a little bit, and he did make something pretty personal. But I think at the same time, when it comes to having two bands play, it's like not a lot of people are gonna know who Nelson is. I know who Nelson is, or M or whatever. I mean, they're obviously they're from the 80s, and I didn't know their songs really, but I kind of did. And then of course I'm trying to even remember what the other band was, and like again, there's a lot of things where he wanted to inject it, and I think. Hopefully he's kind of going, wait, I can't just make something that's super personal to me like this when I know I got fans, and specifically you got DC fans that are kind of maybe wanting just a little bit more than your favorite bands playing during an episode. But for the most part, like I said, the character stuff was good, and I even liked the cliffhanger with the whole Salvation thing, but it just, don't worry, Jimmy. It's the first year, man. I was hoping for a big reveal in the finale, and since we didn't get it, I gotta know, is Flurry, of course, Tim Meadows' character, Martian Manhunter? Or even if he's not, is there more to him than what we saw in this season? He's not, but I don't get that people don't think there aren't big reveals here, including Checkmate and Salvation. Again, Jimmy Guns. Deep cuts. Deep cuts are good, deep cuts are fun, but not a lot of people are going to know the deep cuts. When it comes to Checkmate, I think we all suspected that was going to be the case. when you're already talking about, like, you know, Amanda Waller, and then of course you had Miss Bardot, who was a part of Checkmate specifically, we kind of already figured that there was going to be something that was going to be Checkmate-esque. If there was going to be a hint at it, but of course you full on showed it, which was great, but it was already suspected. Salvation, on the other hand, not a lot of people knew about Salvation, not even the diehard DC fans out there. And, you know, I mean, that's just the case. That's why searches for Salvation Run DC went up like crazy, because people just didn't know exactly what it was. And maybe when it came to Salvation, maybe there could have been a little bit more meat on the bone than just, you know, Chris out there looking and hearing a little roar in the background. Maybe if there was like a villain in there already, then at the same time, kind of doesn't work with the story, because Peacemaker was technically the first one they sent through there. But I mean, if there was something, I don't know what could have like helped that. I'm very intrigued by it now that I know about it, now that I've researched on it, and, you know, I did a video. But yeah, it's just, that's the thing. Are these deep cuts always going to work? That's the thing, Jimmy Guns, and that's the thing that he's, you know, that he's basically going to learn as he's going.